zodiac sign, but if you down to put in work, she'll be coming with the grind. See me out in Vegas, LA, Miami. If you really understand me, you'll be richer than your granny, and then every generation in your family. I can lead you to the money, filling up the bags. I can help you get the money, filling up your bags. Same old trader from the
All right, what's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée. This is not financial advice. It's never financial advice. But if you came here, it's because you want to learn how to trade and get some money, man. We got some voters here already in the top of the chat. Here we got are you bullish or bearish on the weekend? What's poppin', blockchain cowboy? Good to see you in the house, man. Let's go. Yeah, we just getting it warmed up here with my song. I Can Lead You to the Money. I had dropped it in 2022, basically at the bottom of the bear market. Still bullish.
I ain't saying
it's
the bottom, but it's closer than the top.
I let everybody know, man, we in this game long term.
You can question my suggestion, not professional professor taking profits. My profession, but
we got a lot of stuff going on, man. What a crazy week. I'm in a few trades right now. You guys don't understand. So I wake up in the morning, I'm like stressing, blinding myself, looking at the phone. Looking at the phone like this.
When the Fed's done racing, it'll be guns blazing.
Today's lesson, man. Today's the slogan, if you will.
So yeah, I'll be buying when the market ain't the healthiest. Keep it in your wallet if you wanna be the wealthiest. Cause if not your keys, not your crypto, when they steal it, you'll be hella pissed. Say it with me one time now. F Celsius. I'm tapped in with altcoin daily. Kick code news and my man Harold Whaley.
We out here shorting too, man. I'm shorting right now too. Right on, Nick C. Appreciate you, boy. King's mentality. Shout out to you, man. First one in the chat today.
Filling up the bags.
I like when folks get here early. Everybody know. I know everybody's watching and we ready to go. Ready to rock and roll.
Filling up your bags.
Woo. Did I catch the top of some of these shorts or not? Man, I'm going to show you guys today how I had to weasel in and out of a trade or out of it and into another one.
The same old trader.
This song is almost over.
When the bears swing on you, then you better swing back.
You feel me? What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée. Happy Friday to y'all, man. We're going into the weekend. Straight from South Africa. Great to see you here, man. We some international players on this show, okay? We got folks from all over the world. Woo, but we jumping into the charts real quick. Okay, first of all, I just want to say one thing. I've been around this game so long that I have so many like soliloquies or whatever you want to call them, colloquial terms and stuff. I've been around for so long. I started making up my microphone, check it. This ain't the mic. I think this is picking up on something else. Nah, I pulled the cord out by accident. Hold on. There we go. We back. All right. All right. Just in time for Idema to join the chat. Popping up in here. My bad, man. I be going hard on the mic and I pushed the button. I ripped out the cord or something like that. No, it wasn't you, blockchain cowboy. This time it was me. No, I've been going in this game for so long. Put some music on in the background here. I've been doing it so long, I have a lot of like little sayings I made up just without even really thinking them. Some I kind of thought through, I guess, but most of the time I just say them without even thinking them, you know? Like on my very first stream, I think I was when I'd rather be rich than right. And Matt pulled that one out and it was like, just ran with it. I was like, man, I feel you. What's going on, Kalichi? And so basically, one of the ones I did not make up though, that I heard from a long time trader. You guys can understand I came from TradFi. Originally I was trading stocks. And an old school cat was like, he actually used to trade with Bill Ackman, and he hit me up because after SPAC Dream got popping, Bill Ackman had retweeted it. And he hit me up and he said, hey, give me my money. I like give me my money too. But there's an old saying. He said, I was on their podcast. And he was like, you either trade all the time or you don't trade at all. And I remember that. This was in 2021 early, and I was like, man, that's true, though, because, like, when you get caught as half a trader, you know, you kind of get stuck in a trade, and you're like, oh, you start second-guessing your stuff. And, like, if you guys are here and we look at the charts every single day, we trade all the time, man. And when you trade all the time, it's okay to take profit. for me, I don't understand the month-long swings. You know what I mean? Like, you're sitting there watching, hoping, you're looking at the momentum waves and you're hoping that something rolls over, and it's like, we're looking on a daily chart and look, just all you have to do is zoom in and look at this, okay? Just look at this craziness right here. You know what I'm saying? Look at this craziness. How the hell you trade this in the middle? You know what I'm saying? I literally didn't even mean to do that. It's so crazy. Like, all these lines, you know what I'm saying? There's so much up and down. This is the daily chart, Bitcoin daily. And I'm like, bruh, like, you got to trade all the time, but don't trade at all. You know what I'm saying? When I say don't trade at all, it means, invest. Maybe you trade the cycles. Some people, I talked to a guy on my Friday alpha call. I have like a private alpha group that I'm a part of. And like, I talked to a guy, he's in Australia, and he's like, he basically just trades the cycles. You know what I'm saying? DCA at the bottom, when we got the crazy pump, he sold out almost everything in January, and he's buying a house now. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he's looking for a re-entry of DCA back into Bitcoin, but it's like, that's a don't trade at all type of guy, And it worked for him perfectly, beautifully. You know what I'm saying? But for us, we here every day, we tapping in, we trade all the time. So, honestly, I got sick of looking at that Bitcoin, and, this goes to the thumbnail. I made 116%. Now what? And the thing is, I don't know what yet, except for I do because I'm already in some shorts. But, like, what is Bitcoin going to do? I don't know. But I got sick of staring at it around these parts, right? I came up here, went down here, round-tripped it back up here. I was on the higher end of this range. I'm looking at a peak here. It's not really breaking above. It's not really breaking above support. Give me my money, bro. Give me my money. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I closed out the Bitcoin long. I was up 116%, only 10x. Like, bro, I won the trade. Why do I want to give back this much again? You know what I'm saying? Look how much I gave back. And thankfully, it bounced off. You can see right here, it bounced off support and came back. Give me my money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't round tripping that. Because think about it. If I got out here, I probably would have re-entered here, and then I would have got out here again. I would have won double the money, right? So we trade all the time, and that's a good thing. Don't be afraid of that, right? The main thing is executing good risk management and not using super large, positions every time or whatever. So now let's get into it, right? So, this sparked me saying this because I wake up so early in the morning and I look right at the phone, like, squinting my eyes. And so what happened was this morning, I got up, my phone was on DJing, or somehow it was on DJing. DJing was, I keep DJing handy. And I was like, man, this looks like it's overdone to me. And so I immediately entered the short in haste, a little too fast. Guys, it was like literally when I first woke up, And I put it in the group. First thing I do is check on everybody in the private Discord group. By the way, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. If you're not in the private Discord group, there's a link in the description of this video to join the private Discord group. It's free for the first 50 people. We're already about halfway full. And all you got to do to get it free, it's $99 a month. But it's free if you use my Phemex referral code to create an account on Phemex. So that's the easiest way to get into the Discord group. It's totally free if you do that. So definitely click that link and join the Discord group if you're not in there yet, because that's where all the alpha is. We're doing a great job of starting, getting community input and reorganizing some of the channels, getting more information. Today I got a suggestion from Matt how he wants to do one where it's like for school stuff, put in some acronyms and some information for some new folks. And so I'm going to have some moderators kind of help me out with that stuff, select people to help me add stuff there. You saw Bitcoin, yeah, okay. You saw Bitcoin had taken out the support and resistance range high and was likely, and yep, he's shorting. And I'm shorting too. I'm a little disappointed, it's not the right word, but I thought maybe DJing would be weaker than this. But here's the thing, it's kind of lagging. They're waiting to see, the alts are kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has not, Bitcoin didn't roll over right here. We got another pump. We had the head fake in the morning. So this is what we have. First, let's look at the 30-minute because it opens at 6:30. A lot of people short. Yeah, I mean, I'm shorting too, you guys. So I, took my profit on Bitcoin, which is almost like saying I'm shorting, but I just don't short Bitcoin because Bitcoin's so strong. So I find some weaker coins to short. But this was 6:30 a.m. right here, and I said, look, we got the head fake up. You see the wick, right? You see that wick? This is a half an hour, and then we comes back down again. Then we got another head. That was the double head fake, right? Now we back up again. So, when I shorted DJing, it was like, I don't know, somewhere here. As soon as I woke up in the morning, as soon as I put it in the group chat, and I wanted to get. Oh, I shorted it here. Look at this. I shorted it here, and I wanted to get here. I was mad I missed this, and I thought this was the scam wick. And I was mad I missed this. So I called this out in the chat. This was going against me, And I said, you know, I'm breaking my, you know, sometimes you break the rules of trading, right? Now, I did know. Now, here's the thing, you guys. I did know that when I woke up in the morning and I wasn't about to put a full-size position, you know, when I'm making a move kind of in haste like that, you know, this is 30-second TA, you know, 1 minute TA. I know better than to do some crazy position. So I did like a half a size position, and that's okay. Because when I do that, I'm going with the intention of if I get one more scam wick, especially on a ticker like DGen, I want to be prepared to potentially average down unless I think it's going to like run. So that's what I did, and I caught the top of this. Let's see. Phemex. Sometimes Phemex, you got to refresh it. Let me see. Oh, this is the 5-minute chart. Let's see. I'm trying to find the arrow here where I went in on DGen. Phemex has been moving kind of slow for me today on this computer. I re-entered like here or something. I thought it would show up on the phone here. Anyways, I averaged down, if you will. I averaged down. And as you can see, I'm technically up right now. And oh, let me go to Phemex real quick. I averaged down. I don't know if you can see that. It's too small. I'm actually green right now. I averaged down basically right at the top. And so Phemex should show the arrow, but I can't see it right now. But basically, it was like here. I averaged down. Whenever I called it out in the Discord. And it made my average now this orange line. I didn't want to erase this because this was my original line. But it was like, this is the real entry I wanted to get, right? Like when I woke up, I got this one. So that is the reason behind it. I know my guy out there in Greece will always ask me why. He always asks great questions. He asks the hard questions. He asks a good question in the comments of one of my YouTube videos. He's in the Discord sometimes. He's like, why? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Red Man? And so the reason why I averaged down is because I wished this was my entry. It's not the best reason ever. But I also thought that this was a scam wick. And so far, so good. So far, it was. And I'm back in now at a position that I like. More or less break even right now, but this is a bearish ticker. So if my bearish thesis is correct, my prediction is, you know, DGen will drop like a rock and give me one of these moves, and then I'll probably be taking profit. I don't really like going into the weekend at a time like this with any high conviction. I have no idea what's going to happen on the weekend, bro. Like, this is such a crazy market right now where headlines move it. The president says one thing, you know, bond market says something else, China says something. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no really telling. So that's why we're here. We trade every day. You know what I'm saying? I won't say every day, but we trade all the time or don't trade at all. And we're on the trade all the time group. Be prepared to take profit, and you'll bat those singles. You feel me? And so basically, I'm green right now, just barely. And then the other trade was Jasmine, same deal. I thought these were the scam wicks here, right? You see them 5, 6 in the morning. I thought these were the scam wicks here. Turns out, and I thought I was right at first. I was winning when I was down here most of the day. But when Bitcoin turned bullish, it turned bullish again. Now, here's the thing. These are very volatile tickers. Even if they're bearish and we're assuming they're going to go down, they're so volatile that, like, yeah, you might get it blown up in your face. So when you set a stop loss, especially at 10x, I didn't necessarily have to do 10x, but 10x is what I did. When you're setting a stop loss, I'm giving myself more space than when I did one on, like, Ethereum or Solana or Bitcoin. You know, more percentage, I should say. So I'm like, Andrew, what's poppin', Andrew? It's all good. You here? We just talking about how if you don't trade at all, you trade all. I said if you either trade all the time or don't trade at all. So if you don't trade at all, trade all the time. And that's what we do. Everybody who's here, it's because we go on these charts every day. And you're in the Discord every day. So I'm glad you joined the Discord as well, so you can kind of see my thought process through some of this. I'm on this shit all day. So basically, Jasmine is not cooperating right now, even though it was earlier. Still am bearish on this ticker. It's a relatively bearish ticker. I think it's over its skis. I think we need Bitcoin to drop. It's a little bit of a risk. I do not have a huge position on it, but it's a full-size position at this point. Let's see. Where is Jasmine here? Put it on Phemex here. So you see I'm basically right here at just under break even. I did the same thing on this as I did with DGen. Gambling, if you will, that this was the scam wick. I got in right here. Let's see, it was in a 5 minutes. So you could see it was right when right before the stream started. I averaged down, and now I've got a full-size position in it. But I've got a better entry now. Again, got the same deal. Got the entry where I wanted it now, up here. You see what I'm saying? So actually, I can change this. I should probably add the entry. Where is it? It's about right here. So all I do is I just go like this. I just put, this is all I do. I know people draw a little thing. It takes too long for me. I just draw a line, make it my color, put in the coordinates, which are, let's see, 13358. and I'm done. So this is, we know now, this is my new average position right here, okay? So look, if this was the scam wick, great. If it wasn't, okay. I do have a stop loss. There's my stop loss. Listen, these coins could scam wick me out. And I'm about to give you a perfect example. So, this is what happened earlier. I don't know why. I need something to drink. All right. This is what happened earlier. I talked this out loud in the private group. He's going to start back up with the stream. I'll catch up. Okay, yeah, catch up on the 1.5, Andrews. Cool. So, on Solana, I had entered Solana, right, on this line right here. Would you look at this freaking scam wick that they got me on right here? Look at this. Put on the 1 minute. Look at this scam wick. And this is what happened to you. And so when I was in Solana, we were about here or here. I started writing in the Discord like, okay, you guys, I got some options in Solana. I had 4 options, right? I said I either average down, I either raise the stop loss, I cut my positions, get out, or I do nothing. I chose to do nothing and trust my initial place. Turns out, option 3, I think it was, I should have just raised the stop loss. Look at this scam wick. Got me. And that's what happens. I did not have as high of a stop loss as I had on Jasmine and Degen. So anyways, this is what happened. Okay, so but here's the thing though, and I called this out before I even entered the trade, you guys. I said Solana hasn't actually been as bearish as some other coins. The reason I was doing a short is because it moves pretty steady. So I was like, if this is steady and I'm bearish and this is coming over, and this was actually on the 10-minute what this blue arrow was pointing at. I told you guys in a group, I said, I'm looking for a breakdown below this line. And I didn't get it, basically. That don't really count right there, right? I didn't get it. I got in like here. Okay, and I didn't get it. And so basically, okay, it went against me. I got stopped by a scam wick. No big deal. Now, what I did do is, I said, because I was looking at the support and resistance too, I thought maybe it would bounce off that. So that was also in play. But it wasn't bearish enough, to be honest with you. So what I did was, I went to Old Faithful. Where is it? Good old Ethereum. When you never know, when there's nothing left to short, turn to Ethereum, okay? Which is honestly what I should have done in the first place, okay? Look at ETH. Bearish as hell. Going sideways, doing what ETH does best. Down, okay? And so it was like, why did I choose Solana? I should have just stuck to the system. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I have these rules in place, and the only time I ever lose is when I break the rules. I swear to God. Doesn't mean I never break the rules. Doesn't mean you can't take a risk ever. Again, a mitigated risk, had stop loss. You know, got whooped on the stop loss for Solana. But I'm revenge trading it by way of ETH. And so one other one that I learned from years ago is you don't have to make it back the same way you lost it. And this is very important, you guys, because this happens to all of us at least once, if not 100 times. You start averaging down on something that you shouldn't be averaging down on. You start doubling that. Anybody put something in the comment if you ever average down on something that you know damn well you shouldn't have been chasing. And you average down a little bit more, right? You buy the dip and it keeps on dipping. Put that in the comment. Raise your hand or something. Put an emoji in there if you've ever done that before, right? And so remember this in your brain when you start going down with a ship, right? Nick, see, we all do it, right? You don't have to win it back the same way you lost it. I promise those words in my brain have helped me a lot. You don't have to win it back the same way you lost it, okay? Yeah, bro, it's happened to me too, bro, for sure. So always remember that, right? Maybe I was in the wrong ticker, which I was this morning. See, with experience, you start learning, okay, I was in the wrong. Kind of like I've been on this stream before with you guys. And like I said, I'd rather be rich than right? I was wrong. Get out. But I still had a bearish bias. I was like, Bitcoin's not showing me a tremendous amount of strength. Let me go into a bearish ticker, which is what I should have done in the first place. And that was Ethereum. And here we are now. Ethereum's bringing me back. Shit, Ethereum is carrying me now. Look at that. Ethereum's made up for everything else already. So granted, I did take out a bigger position. I quote-unquote revenge traded. Ethereum moves a little bit less than Solana. So in order to make back what I had lost, I felt that I needed to have a bigger position. But just so you guys know, and this is something else to a question another guy asked me, is how do you know what leverage to do? So here I am. I decided to go back in Ethereum. So instead of risking more actual money, it's still one unit here. Oh, let me go back to Phemex, it's still 1 unit here. $100 is a unit on this account because I only started with $1,000 in this account, right? So what I did was I kept it $100, but I did 20x instead of 10x. And that was, where's Ethereum? Let me show you guys here. So 20x instead of 10x, it'll show it up here on the top right. Oh, you can't see. I got the breakout prop thing up there. But basically, on your phone app, you'll see it. Let me turn this off. No, not that one. This one. Up here is where it shows the theory, what you want to do, and then you can change it by clicking on. So you see, I'm at 20x on Ethereum. Okay. So that's what I decided to do in this case, was to have larger leverage with the same amount of money. That's how I could get more bang for my buck. Okay. And that's why we leverage trade. So that's what I chose to do on the Ethereum trade to make up for my stop on the Solana trade, which got me on the scam wick. You feel me? But so far, I mean, things are looking in my direction right now. I don't, you never can anticipate this, but I don't anticipate a violent move anytime soon. So, listen, I wouldn't be mad if we just slowly but surely came all the way back down. You know what I mean? I'm shorting right now, right? So, that was the other reason why, too. It kind of didn't make sense. We're up here with Bitcoin. I'm like, look, guys, I'm shorting. I was doing it as a hedge because I was going to talk to you guys today about what hedging is and how hedging works. I have my longer-term play to the upside, and then you hedge, meaning you take shorter-term plays to the downside, perhaps with a little more leverage in stocks. They might use options to do it. So basically, that's what I was doing. But then I'm like, you guys, I'm sitting there staring at this green. Give me my money. So that's why I said, he says, let me just trade in one direction. Took my Bitcoin up 116%. You know what I mean? I seen it once before over here. I really didn't feel like watching it go back down. So far, I'm correct. We'll see if it stays that way. But so far, it was the right move. And I've got my shorts on. So I've got, I'm technically green on Degen right now, just above break even, or just below, I should say, break even on Jasmine, and I'm green on ETH. And we'll see what happens. I really like entering on Scamwick, so I hate when I don't get to do that. But you got to watch the charts, really, to be able to do that. And this is where Breakout Prop comes in a lot. Because I'm trading on the 1 minute chart on Breakout Props. So we got ETH here, we got Bitcoin. And also, I have these queued up like this because I want to show you guys how clear it is to show that Bitcoin is more bullish than Ethereum. Now, obviously, you guys just know that by knowing it. But when you put them side by side like this, it makes it crystal clear because of the fact that I just look at the last peaks and then where we recovered from, right? So if you look at this waterfall here, this is like when in my Discord where I have the channels that are bear stickers or bullish stickers. What they mean is relatively bearish or bullish versus Bitcoin. If anybody doesn't understand that, put a question, write something down in the chat, and I'll kind of explain it better. But basically, I'm looking at a peak of this waterfall here, and this beginning of this waterfall here, right? Bitcoin came down. When it bounced up, it's closer to back the top of that waterfall than Ethereum was. And then as we move on, same deal. We got the last peak was here on Bitcoin. It went down, and now it shot up higher than this. So this is relatively bullish to itself, or to this peak, whereas Ethereum clearly is not, right? Clearly did not even go back up to its last peak. Ethereum's trend is clearly to the downside. That just is just clearly, and it would be, this might be down to the downside as well, but just not as big of an angle. And that's really what the difference is. And so I'm kind of comparing its own difference with itself to the next. It's like a ratio to ratio comparison. That's how I'm determining that. It's nuanced, but it serves me well because if I had shorted Ethereum instead of Solana, let's see what Solana looks like when we look at it on here on the 1 hour chart. 1 minute chart. Right? Shit. So same deal, right? So this tells me this. I was wrong when I shorted Solana this morning. I should not have done that. I should have shorted Ethereum from jump. Because look, a Solana shot up over its peak right here. It was relatively bullish. It was about, when I entered, it was about at its peak, in fairness to me. But that's nowhere near as bearish as ETH. So now, what are these rules and why do they don't always work, right? None of this stuff always works, right? That's why we have risk management. So we're also talking about Tron, TRX. And someone brought up a good point in here. Gosh, who was it? Are they in? If you were talking to me about Tron in the Discord, say something in the comments here. So Tron, right? Tron's an interesting one. So Tron is a slow grind up, and that is true, as you can see, right? As you can see. However, relatively speaking, it hasn't seemed to be as bullish. Oh, okay, it was you, All Kings. Okay, right on. It doesn't seem to be as bullish as it had. And the way I'm determining that is by looking at like these two charts side by side. it was bullish, right? So this is this move, right? We had the big waterfall down, and it came up above this. Wow, that's pretty bullish, right? More bullish than Bitcoin. Bitcoin didn't come up that high, right? But then this morning, that kind of reversed. It was lagging on the way back up, and now it hasn't broken above this peak. You see what I'm saying? And this one has broken above the peak. So this is what I'm saying. Like, it adjusts, and we're looking at it closely. We're looking at it all the time. I'm trying to give you guys the nuanced stuff that I'm seeing. What's popping, all set? Good to have you in here. I'm trying to help you see what I see, right? So it's not that anybody's right or wrong type of deal, but it's like, okay, these are what the current environment is. And that's what I learned so much about trading. It was like, what is the current environment specifically that we're trading in? And this is why there's a lot of smart people who trade, and a lot of smart people who I've taught how to trade. And it's like, you're always looking for that magic bullet, that magic system, that formula where I just put my input in and I get my output in and I'm rich forever. It just doesn't work that way. I wish it did. We all wish it did. People, trust me, there's people a hell of a lot smarter than me who wish it worked that way, you know? And like, you don't have to be smart to make money in this business. Trading is not about knowing all the analytical nonsense. It's about learning the trends. So the cool kid in high school, I swear to God, okay, I got to tell you a quick story real quick, okay? When I first started trading, it was with my man Randy, the first guy I mentioned in the song Spac Dream, okay? Not Randy Hipper, my homeboy Randy. Before I got into trading in crypto. And I said, at the beginning, I was like, bro, this is just people chasing high school trends, like who got the coolest backpack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, all of the world's money flows through whoever's just trend chasing. This is after COVID and people just chasing shit. I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is not based on no fundamentals. I watch CNBC every single day where they talk about fundamentals. And every single day I'm like, yeah, but apparently the fundamentals don't matter. What are you talking about? And so then, especially when I got on Twitter and stuff. So I was like, okay, so this is like early 2020. I called that out. I've now been through 5 years of journey, okay, where it's like looking at all of this stuff, and I dove so deep into analyticals, the first stocks and the fundamentals and, balance sheets and, price to earnings ratios and blah, 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 blah. And I and then crypto, same deal. Come all the way back around to land on, yeah, it's just high school trends. You know what I'm saying? It's just high school trends. And you know what? Good. So even if you wasn't the coolest kid in high school, you now know how the financial system works. And that's why we're shorting. That's why we're trading. That's why we're in and out. That's why we're doing this short term. It's because it's like, man, the trend is going to change and it might change tomorrow. So when I'm saying, that's why I always have the channels are relatively bullish, relatively bearish. I'm like, since when? Right? So, and I don't always say that, but I'm trying to keep them updated. And I'm trying to call out the ones that are more extreme. Sometimes I post the videos where I go through, it's kind of easy to just kind of go through them all. Where you can kind of just go through them. Pretty easy on your chart on the phone. You can just cycle through, and you can see them. You can kind of just see. Okay, I'm gonna get back to virtuals here in a second. You can kind of just see. It was like so obvious that Ethereum is like bearish, right? And so I'm trying to call out the most extremes. I'm not gonna write down 200 tickers, but like if you want to go long. These are the ones, it's usually less that have long. So Tron was long, Fartcoin, obviously. Don't worry, we're going to still talk about Fartcoin. But basically, Tau did end up being long. Remember, I was in Tau. I should have stayed in Tau when I got in down here. Tau is still strong. Still strong, relatively. It has these waterfalls, though, so we know it's more volatile. You need to adjust your entries accordingly. And if you're trading on Breakout Prop, you also want to, you can be very careful on Breakout Prop if you're trading 1 minute candles on Breakout Prop because, you can't go minus 6%, for overall, or even more. You can't go minus 4% a day. So you don't want to go real, down in Breakout Prop, and because that will kill you, right? You get breached. So learn what ticker you're trading. And then when I say learn that, then it's like how big of a position. The only real way to get used to it is to start small. I got myself a $100,000 account. And I started with like $100 and then $500 and then $1,000 and then $2,000 and then, then 3, 4, 5. And you start seeing how much did my bankroll get wrecked if I was wrong and I tried to hold this, right? Would this have breached me? You know what I'm saying? Would this have liquidated me if it was in Phemex, or would it have breached me if it was, you know what I mean? You got to know when I see a big move like this, and think about it too. If you won the trade, then you know what it is in the reverse, and that's how you're going to start getting a good system going in Breakout Prop where you're not risking too much. I can't say this enough. All you got to do to win is not lose. I know that sounds ridiculous, but in the long term, if you just keep surviving, batting singles, eventually your bankroll is going to grow. You just don't want to get wrecked. That's kind of the main thing. One other thing I want to call out today is the 10-year yield. That is, if any of you guys ever, the 100 minus 1,000 minus 1,000, 10,000. Fun game. Yeah, you don't want to get wrecked. So the 10-year yield, though. The 10-year yield, let me type it in here. Nope, not on Phemex. The 10-year yield, let's see, is that it? No. It's the bond. It's the bond. Oops. Put it in TradingView. There it is. I hope that was it. Did it show up? Oh, I forgot to hit save. So, no, it's still tau. Where the hell is it? Oh, it's the bottom here. Okay. So this we won't talk about too long. Everyone thinks bonds are boring, and they are, but you guys know the bond market is like, I don't know, it's like way bigger. I don't even know what the number is. It's like way bigger than the stock market, right? I appreciate that, Redman. Yes, you guys can like it and make a comment in, all that kind of stuff in the actual like comments after the video's over or during it. I don't know when. I appreciate that. Helping it helps the channel a bit if you can like the post. But yeah, so the 10-year yield, generally speaking, this is a general sentence. It is not like gospel, but generally speaking, when the 10-year goes up, the rate, usually it means stocks are going to come down. The reason behind that is because it's like saying I'm going to be able to park my money in a 10-year bond and earn a high interest rate, so I don't need to take the risk of the stock market. It's a guaranteed 5%, 6%, whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? That is the general sentiment. It doesn't necessarily happen on a dime, though. It's not like an inverse immediately. It does sometimes kind of become that as the focus gets more and more on it. And that's what I was talking about in the Discord. I said I'll talk about it more in the live stream. When you got the 10-year yield kind of going up, this is like a violent move. It feels like a big, this is on the 10-minute. Let me put in the 1 hour, right? So you see it was pretty stable here. It went down. This is what I'm saying, too. We know that stocks were going down during this time period, so it doesn't mean stocks follow it perfectly. But it's this violent move back to the upside. It means, by the way, the rate is going up when other countries are selling the U.S. bonds. That's what that means. And they have auctions, and there's different, there's a 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, all the 20 year, 30 year. There's all these other bonds, but the 10 year is the one that seems to, I don't know, affect the stock market the most. So when people are selling them off, not people, countries or whatever are selling them off, that's the United States debt. The interest rate goes up higher because it wants to be more attractive for people to come back and buy it. And the stock market usually suffers. So sometimes it's a precursor to the volatility that may be coming in the stock market. So I just want to call that out. I don't like trade exactly off this, but when you start seeing a trend to the upside since about April 6th, so about all week, and it's still going up. We had a little down here on Wednesday when prices pumped, but it's still going back up again. That gives me pause, like, to be short also. That's part of the reason. So I just want to call that out for folks who don't know much about the bonds and shit like that. I'm not going to dwell on it, but that's it. So, the other thing, too, is just in general, and I kind of already went over this, is when I enter my short-term trades, even, the super short ones right now, I'm in a few tickers because I like the idea of a little bit of diversification just in case some crazy shit happens. So, that brings me back to the Solana trade that went against me, right? Look, Jasmine is killing me right now. Let's see what's going on here. Killing me right now. Come on, Phemex. Going up again. So basically, though, if one of them, if this one say gets stopped out, I still have a kind of a basket because these little coins, man, you don't know what the hell they're gonna do, bro. You have a short squeeze at any moment, and there's manipulation and all that kind of stuff, right? So you never know who is gonna be the one to screw you. So that's why we diversify. Even on these little short-term plays, I still rather have 3 shorts than just one, unless maybe it was a bigger one that's a little more steady like Ethereum. But DJ and Jasmine could squeeze me at any moment. You're going for the bigger play here. But you do get the bigger play, too. I mean, that's how you make the bigger money. That's why Fartcoin made me, 453%, and Bitcoin only made me 116%, right? It is what it is. You could make up for the difference by putting a bigger position on Bitcoin. You could do that. You're going to pay a little bit bigger fees, but that's fine. You could do that. But if you're diversified and you're wrong, which I was, right, on one of them, it didn't wreck my whole trade, you know, because it would have been, you know, I'd just be mad. Oh, I lost my trade. I'm out of my trade. I don't have anything else in the trade. You know what I'm saying? So you diversify, and it's like life over limb. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you guys didn't see, I got scam wicked out of this salon. Anybody's just joining. Scam wicked. This is a damn scam wick right here. Look at that. Stop. This red line is my stop loss, okay? The red line is the stop loss. Look at this. Can you believe this crap? I'm going to put a little circle around it. Look at this. Look at that. You got to be kidding me. That red line. Scam wicked me. Whatever. It happens. I could have taken option 3 or something and moved it up. But what I did was, because remember I said earlier, you don't have to make it back the same way you lost it. So I went down here on Ethereum, which was a more bearish ticker, and I re-entered. Pretty quickly. Honestly, didn't do it right away. I wish I had. You know, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. I was doing a couple things. And I wish I had just re-entered here. And then I would be sitting even prettier right now. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, if Jasmine wants to come and screw me, well, looks like it might want to do right now, I would have had more money in Ethereum, and I would have been all right. So, you know, this is what it is. Look, this is Jasmine. Is that the stop loss? No, wait. My stop loss is 14. Oh, my stop loss is a little bit higher. I'm sorry. My stop loss is higher. Thank God. Oh, because I averaged down. That's right. So, and I talked about that as well. I went into these with a half-size position because I was prepared to average down once. Okay, you guys? I need to make that clear. This is not me chasing and going down with a sinking ship. When I entered, I knew it was a little bit haste. I had a bearish bias. I wasn't even convinced enough that we were going down that I had even closed out my Bitcoin trade yet. So that's very important. I want to call that out because I said I, quote unquote, broke the rules. I wrote that in the Discord. I broke the rules and averaged down here. And the reason I did it, I said I would tell you guys, you see the arrow here. The reason I did it is because I knew I didn't have a full-size position. So when I entered it, like you got to have an exit strategy every time you enter. That was my contingency plan that, okay, I would be prepared to put one more half a unit on to make it a full unit if I can get the entry I want. So, you know, taking the risk. You know, I caught a top. It looked like it was going to reverse. Now it's going against me. Whatever happens, happens. You know, if Bitcoin doesn't turn bearish pretty quickly, I'll probably get stopped out. Maybe not. But that is basically the thesis behind that and why it's quote unquote okay for me to average down right there. Because normally you don't really want to do that. The other thing is this too. I want to talk about that. Averaging down gets really risky when you start like doubling down, right? So I averaged down the same amount that I entered, which was 1/2 a unit. If I had like doubled that and say like, because you feel like, oh, I'm gonna make it all the way back. Like this is what happens, you guys. Again, we've all done this shit before. Okay, you feel like I gotta make some real money back, and I'm never gonna get all the way back down to my entry. So now I gotta go in even bigger. And this will happen to you on is Breakout Prop. You do that shit on Breakout Prop, and then that's how you get wrecked. That's how you get breached. Trying to do that on Breakout Prop. But again, I'd rather do it on Breakout Prop and lose someone else's money. It's annoying, but it's not my money. I would have lost thousands, you know? So what happens is this is going up, and now I want to average down. So let's say I got $100 on it. So I average down 100. Now I got a $200 position. Goes against me a little more. Now I put down $400 because I want to make it back because I don't think I'm going to get all the way back down to here. So now I got $400. Now all of a sudden I got a $600 position. I'm telling you, once you got that $600 position, now you're 3 times as large as your initial position, and you're only a little bit ahead. You're not like days away or anything. All it takes is one more scam wick, and boom, you're breached. So if you are going to average down, keep it a consistent amount. And that's going to bring me to the next thing I wanted to show you guys, virtuals. Now this, oh, I wish I had caught this, you guys. If you guys ever see a short squeeze, please, pretty please, call it out in the Discord. I love short squeezes. This is my bread and butter during the ridiculous fervor after the election, okay? I passed Breakout Prop doing short squeezes. I passed that shit in one day doing short squeezes, okay? You see this wick right here on virtuals? Think about how nice it would have been if we had caught somewhere, just the top of this anywhere, caught a short and rode it all the way back down. Oh, it would have been nice, right? And that's the shorts. That's basically the short squeeze strategy. First thing you got to do is identify it. And you know what? This is what I wish I had. I wish I had an alert of some sort of indicator that would tell me when short squeezes were occurring. If any of you guys know what that is, we're definitely doing one-on-one. You're definitely getting free access to me for that day, because I want to know. Basically, it's like I need an alert that scans all the cryptos and tells me when one of them is moving at a faster clip upward than its average by like a factor of 5 or 10, whatever, that would be the adjustable factor. If you could like make an indicator that said that, and it would give you an alert that says, oh my God, this is happening at 3 in the morning, so I wouldn't have seen it anyways. But something like this happens, I'm just licking my chops. So what you do is, if this occurs, and maybe this happened too fast, this is on the 1 minute. This might be an anomaly. This one might be a fluke. If you know one, Andrew, yes, by all means, tell it to the group, put it in the Discord, DM me on Twitter, something. What you want to do, I've heard people tell me they had one before and it wasn't really exactly what I was looking for. But if you got something that's going to come along and give us all alerts when any crypto you put in there, maybe you have to tell it, maybe you don't have to tell it, that tells me in real time, especially it's got to be real time. I can't have 10 minutes late. This is a 1 minute candle, right? And maybe this is 1 minute, a little bit too short. But you start seeing these, we start seeing something go up like this. This is where bankroll management comes in. You got to be careful, okay? Especially if you're doing a breakout prop or even your real money. You got to be careful. So what you're going to do is, you're going to know, you kind of got to know the ticker a little bit. Or know how much it normally moves to know how big of a position is okay to start going in. Now, there's two ways to doing it. One of it is more risky than the other. Let's say $100. We'll just call it $100. If, let's say you started the start of the squeeze and you thought it was only going to here, and so you entered, right? Because you're watching the candle like by the second, right? Because I would be doing that on breakout prop, right? I would be like this, okay? You for sure got to be on like the 1 minute chart on Market Cipher B too, right? Because that's not even the real determining factor. The real determining factor is you're using the bankroll management. So let's say you put in $100, right here or something. Now it goes against you. Shit, now I'm down. Whatever, $50 or whatever it might be. You're gonna have to go in another $100. So you're trying to do that, but to the point where it's not going to, you're in a short squeeze. I mean, you knew this was going to come back down. Like, that is a strong thesis you're having. This is fake. So you start going in. You basically start like DCAing in. But what I would not do is DCA in at increasing amounts. You will get it back. If it really is a short squeeze, don't worry. Don't go $100 in, then $200 in, so now you got a $300 position, and then $400 in, so now you got a $700 position. That will breach you quickly because it will one more piece of it, and it's a multiplier. It goes against you super fast. So just keep your same unit, 100, another 100, and maybe you do it 7 times, and now you're in for $700, and your average is somewhere here or whatever. But now you got a $700 position that's somewhere halfway through this wick. As soon as it comes back down to here and you get out, or this changes and say you get out here or whatever, you still made good money. You see what I'm saying? It's risky when you start increasing the average down on the short squeeze. Now, the other option, which I started doing more recently when I was doing the short squeeze strategy, which is a little bit safer, you just got to be real quick on the draw, is that you got to get in, and if you think it's going against you, you get out. And then when you go in, you get out. If it's going against you, and then you just re-enter. And it's an exit, exit, like you just do it hella times until you catch the top, and then you ride it all the way back down again. It looks messy as hell. You're going to see a whole bunch of little triangles and shit. But what ends up happening is you took a little bit of a loss, you got out, and then you took a little loss, got out. But sometimes it's zigzagging on you, so you got back into bad entry. You watch it, and when you're on the 1 minute candle, you're going to see it moving. You're just trying to get your final position in near the top and then just ride it back down again. So you lost a little bit on the give and take and on the fees and stuff like that. But in the end of the day, you got to ride it all the way back down, so all is forgiven. It's definitely a start small if you're trying to chase short squeezes. But I'm telling you, they're so lucrative because you make the money so fast. So freaking fast, I swear. Like, look how long it's going to take this to come all the way back down. This amount of move. How big is that move on here? This amount of move from here to here is 10%, we'll call it, just to like there. It's taking forever to move another 10%. You know what I'm saying? You make all that so fast that you just like, man, you just make, it's kind of like cheating. Like you just do it all fast. So I do love short squeezes. I really do. but like they are risky. So it's one of those strategies that's hard for me to teach you guys in here. You'd have to watch it in real time. I think what I want to do at some point in time is I want to just scalp. I probably won't even really be talking unless I'm just like talking it through. I probably want to come on Breakout Prop and just set up for like 3 hours one day and just scalp and just show you guys what's going on in my mind as I'm doing. I'm just basically talking to myself. Oh, this is a 15-minute chart. No wonder. I was like, what the hell? I would just be going through what's going on in my brain as I do it, and I'll just be like, buy here, sell here, buy here. This is fake. Ready, go. Like, I'll just be talking to myself. Yes, Andrew, I do have a fat thumb. Fat fingers all the time. Especially hate touchscreens, though. Shit. Yeah, if Andrew, yeah, find me that indicator, bro. That would be super sweet. Okay, all set, wants to see that. Yeah, I mean, I want to do some live trading. The problem is this. I get on here for you guys, I got a set time, and I don't know if that's a good time to start trading. I need to tell myself one day, I'm just going to trade today, you know, and then when I find a good entry or whatever, or I'm about, you know, something good's actually about to happen, or I actually enter, I'll just go live and just have to tell you guys I decided to go live. And you're just going to sit there and boringly watch me trade, but you will see I'll talk out loud or whatever, or mutter to myself, and just tell you what I'm thinking about the whole time. That's pretty much all I had for today specifically. If you guys have anything else, call it out right now in the chat. Make sure you vote. Are you bullish or bearish for the weekend? Just write it in the chat real quick. Are you bullish or bearish for the weekend? I'm curious right now. We're going to almost at a split. Right now, bearish is 56% and bullish is 44%. And in the meantime, I just want to remind everybody, Breakout Prop, I have a discount code. So if you purchased an evaluation with Breakout Prop, the discount code you put in right before you check out, GGRF7W. It's really the only discount they give. Breakout Prop does not give a lot of discounts or promotions or any of that other stuff. Credit to them. Their whole premise is they don't like changing things up. So they don't change up the rules. They don't change up, like, you know, how they're going to pay out or anything like that, and including the pricing. They don't usually change the pricing. So they have some affiliates. It's not open to just anybody. But basically, because I've been using them so long, I got in a long time ago as an affiliate. Now they actually changed the affiliate system, so now I have a code instead of like a link. It used to be a link. So you can create your account for free. You just go on Breakout Prop, create your account for free, and then right when you purchase the evaluation, you put in GGRF7W, and you can do that anytime you purchase the evaluation. So let's say you purchase an evaluation, and then you get funded. You're actually allowed to purchase one additional account, and you would still use that Breakout Prop discount code on the second time or anytime you go to purchase Breakout Prop. So that's the discount code at the top of this. You definitely should take advantage of that because it's like a win-win. Everybody eats. And then Phemex, obviously, you guys can't get in the Discord without Phemex, so make sure you use my invitation link. If you're in certain areas, you might need to watch out for the restrictions and stuff, but I know once you're in, you don't need a VPN. And we're trying to figure out, you know, I don't know, the situation with KYC is I was told you didn't need it, but some people are getting hung up. We're going to come back to that. But basically, man, yeah, everybody trade safe on this weekend, you guys. The weekend, let me tell you something. The weekend is unpredictable. The weekend is very unpredictable. I don't know what's going to happen. I got my shorts on. I'm quote unquote near the top, or at least near getting liquidated here on some of them. But basically, I'm trying to say this. Like, if you play the video, if you do trade, I wouldn't go too crazy. Nothing right now is obvious to me. And I'm really, when I'm doing swing trades especially, I really like it to be a little more clear what the hell is about to happen. And that is not clear to me right now. And honestly, I probably don't even swing trade this much. I do prefer scalping. However, it's kind of easier for me to track this account and stuff for the scalping, for the swing trade, so I can talk to you guys and show you what I'm doing. You know, it gives me time to put screenshots and stuff in there and say why I think this entry and that entry. But what I like to do is block off 3 or 4 hours of my day and just say I'm going to scalp. You know, leave me alone. I'm going to scalp. And then that's what I do in Breakout Prop a lot. And so what I'm going to do is, I don't know if it's next week or what. We all got to do taxes, man. If you're in America, taxes are due on the 15th. So I got a lot of stuff cooking this next week. And maybe sometime after I'm done with the taxes, get a little free time, I might just say, look, I'm just going to break out the Breakout Prop and scalp for live or something. If it ain't next week, the week after, something like that. I just got to take care of all this little business. I'm making some content, some videos for my YouTube channel, that kind of stuff. I want to make a Phemex tutorial video for new folks, show you how to walk through. And the last thing I have to mention, For everybody who stayed this long. If you're in the Discord, we're going to be having more contests, or some contests, the first contest, I should say. But more info on the contest starting tomorrow, where basically it's going to be an invite contest. So you don't have to invite anybody today if you don't want to, but you're going to get your own invite link coming up on this weekend. So keep checking in Saturday or Sunday. We're going to start the contest. You're going to have 1 week. Whoever invites the most people with their invite link, the bot will track it. Then you're going to get 1 hour free one-on-one session with your boy Cassius Cuvée. We'll do it Zoom. We'll look at every single corner of your strategy or whatever level you're at in trading. I have a wealth of knowledge that I can't even share with everybody every day on the live stream because some of it's just like too nuanced, too in the weeds. But for the more advanced traders, we could talk about whatever advanced strategy you want. If you're newer, we could talk about whatever new stuff you want. We could look at your chart. We could look at my chart. We can make it happen. So that's going to be coming up here. 1 week invite contest starting. I'm probably going to start it on Sunday. So make sure you check the Discord on the weekend. I know things are a little bit slower on the weekend. It's only, look, congratulations to everyone rocking with me. This is basically wrapping up the third week. It started on Monday, 2 Mondays ago. So this is closing out at least the third work week, business week. We still trade on the weekends, though, crypto, baby, 24/7. But appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy Cassius Cuvée. Tell me one time, where'd you vote? Right now I'm looking at bearish is 56% for the weekend, bullish 44%. I know most of us sound like in the chat are shorting along with me here with something. Things aren't looking so good for Jasmine. It was a risky play to begin with, but my Ethereum may carry the day for me, so we'll see. Anyways, y'all, I mean, that's all I got. I don't see any more new messages here. We're going to get it popping. Keep rocking with your boy Cassius Cuvée. Please like, share, and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. Tell your homeboys to tap in with my channel and your homegirls. We definitely need to get more women in here. I talk to them on the phone. I talk to them on stuff, whatever, Twitter and stuff. But we're going to get them in here in a minute. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. We're closing up the third business week. And we're going to be back here tomorrow. I plan on doing it the same time tomorrow. If something changes, I'll put it in the Discord and tweet it out. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys today, players. So that's it, man. We're going to lock it up. Peace.